Hello, thank you so much for joining me, and today we're going to be doing crafts with mudlarking finds. I'm convinced that every craft is just getting harder and harder to do because I'm just picking random things off my shelf, just trying to deplete it so I can buy fresh stuff. Right, so I did put it on my Facebook. So if you don't already know, Manchester Mudlarks do have a Facebook page, and on there I post all sorts of things. But at the minute I have been posting items off my shelf for crafting and asking you for ideas. And let me tell you, there is no shortage of ideas. You come up with some cracking ideas, honestly. I take elements, don't use the whole thing sometimes, but I take elements of it. For this craft here, for this picture frame, I had a lot of Halloween ideas. But as it happens, I'm not doing a Halloween craft now, but I've got two of these. I got these frames from the charity shop, wooden frames with, there you go, that's the wooden frame, sorry, that's the wooden frame, and in it was a piece of glass, okay, which I don't particularly need, so just let me put that to one side. Anyway, I get lots of ideas for, I'm not doing a Halloween one, I'll save the other one for a Halloween craft and the ideas you've given me. Then in it was this awful flower picture. Okay, it is actually out of a magazine. Unfortunately there's no date on it, but I'm going to say it's quite old. So it's just a faded picture from a magazine. I can use it for deco patching, something like that, so that won't be thrown, I will keep it. And then underneath that was a mount, and it's got this like twisty paper thing all the way around, so I was going to use that, but then I've decided against it, so I'll just throw that away, I think. I don't think I can find any use for that. And then the backing was a piece of wood, so I will use that. And the paper and the price. I paid £3 for it. So that's a piece of paper off the back. And you know, it's old paper. I might keep that as well to use for deco patching, etc. Or I might even glue it on the back of the picture. Might even reuse it. Anyway, so we've got the frame. And cobbling together, let me just pop that there. Cobbling together some ideas from the massive list. It looks round there, but it isn't. It's oval shaped. So cobbling together the massive list of ideas, I've come up with something, okay? And so I'm going to use the frame. I don't think I'm going to alter the frame. It's a lovely frame. It's very old. Okay, I'm going to say it's really old, this frame. Beautiful. The wood on it looks really nice. Got a lovely patina on it. So I might just keep it as it is, but you know me, it might evolve as well. Then I've got some black velvet. Somebody did suggest putting black velvet in the back. I've got like a crushed black velvet. Okay. And then today, as it happens, in the charity shop, this is a few flowers from a bigger bunch of really dark flowers. The flower that's fell off there. A bunch of really dark flowers. Let me just stick that back on. Sorry, little flowers fell off. But a bunch of really sort of dark reds, really dark flowers. Okay, let me just pop that back on there. Okay, that I hope to use, maybe. So what we've got then, we've got an old cushion, because I need the stuffing out of it. What else? What else? And I've got, wherever it's gone, I've got a bit of manky old chicken wire. Okay. I have got a bit of beaded ribbon. These are things I might use. I don't necessarily guarantee on using them. Bit of beaded what's it, and the ball chain, they're only little mini ball chains, just little ones. Okay, might use those. And then we've got a bee. Try and put that somewhere, obviously. Sorry. A couple of coat hanger paper clips. Those were Tim Holtz. I got them years ago. You might still sell them now, not sure. Another little old type paper clip. Oops, sorry. Tim Holtz again, just a little one. And a little safety pin type thing. You can usually get them on clothes and they have tags on them. Right, just one of those, maybe. Right, so I'm just going to heat my glue gun up, and then I'm going to get cracking and start the first part of this project. Right, okay, I have got my glue gun here. If you remember, the other one was broken and kept playing up. So we've got our board, we've got a piece of fabric. And what I want to do is just glue around the outside edge this fabric apart from one strip at the bottom, because I'm going to stuff stuffing into the bottom of there. So I'm just going to do it a little bit at a time. Okay, stick the fabric on. This is just black velvet, crushed velvet. I think, gosh, I think it was less than £10 off Amazon. Right, that's hot, hot, hot. Just going to stick it on there and carry on. I'm going to leave a gap at the bottom anyway, because I want to be able to stuff it. There you go. Oh God, I've got no glue. I might just stop and restart again tomorrow. Right, come on, let's not give up. Bit of glue there, and we're just leaving, let me just put this down and I'll show you. Just leaving that little part free, okay? Let's press that on the glue. That is really hot. Okay, so I've stuck that, as you can see, just around the outside edge of that frame. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of stuffing out of an old cushion, because desperate times calls for desperate measures. Right, so this is the stuffing out. I'm going to just give it a good fluff. I don't think I want it too thick. It's over there a little bit. I don't know what, might poke it in with a paintbrush maybe, but I want to make it as fluffy as I can. So I'm just keep tearing it like so. I don't want it too puffy, this thing. Okay, but let's just start stuffing it and see how we go. So it doesn't matter if it rips a bit of the glue off, because I can just re-glue it again anyway. Right, like I say, I don't want to stuff it too much. I just want to give it a bit of a rise to it. So I'm just stuffing it through the hole there. Look. And then I'm going to have to get something a little bit longer, because this is good, but it doesn't poke right to the top up there. This is good. It does move it along a bit, but not as far as we need it to go. So basically I'll continue to do that, and then I'll go and get some sort of long stick so I can poke it to the other side there. As you can see, it's a little bit raised. That's all I'm after, just that sort of thing, but all over. Okay, so I'll carry on stuffing it with that stuffing through that gap, and then I'll get back to you. Right, okay, I've padded it now. I'm just going to glue that last end here so that it's sealed. Right, so that's glued there now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut off the excess fabric here. Oh my god, now I've got fireworks going off outside. Oh, and I've got scissors that don't cut. Right, hang on. These little scissors are a lot better. Honestly, every time Willow opens the door to a bedroom, it's just a racket. So noisy, teenagers. But, you know, I don't want to give up and come back another day to do it. So, we'll just do a real life one where there are noises and interruptions. Right, okay. There you go. We've got our padded background. Do you see? A little bit raised, not too much. In the end, I used a ruler, used my wavy cutting ruler. So just poked it up, just got it through the gap and just pushed it. Simple as that. Just a little bit of stuffing out of the thing. Right, okay. What I want to do now is I want to add the mesh. I want to add the mesh to it before I put it in the frame. So, let's see, sorry. Right, I think that'll just about, if I just, see, it's chicken wire mesh. I just want to stick it on here. Just gonna, they've got a few little wires. I can just help me keep it in position before I glue it. So that's just held in position there. Like so. And I'm just gonna glue as well. Okay, that should hold that in place. That is going to go in the frame though, don't forget. That's going to go behind the frame. Oh, and just an interesting thing while that's cooling down, this frame here, it's got, I think, probably a brass, certainly a metal edge on the middle there. I'm not going to make this one shine. I'm not going to clean it up because I want it to be old. But I might do it on the next one. Next one do, so it's got some sort of brass edge on it. So I think these are really nice little frames. Right, I'm just going to leave that to cool down, then I'll come back and then I'll put it on the frame. It's a very simple, very quick make, this one. I had to abandon this craft yesterday, so another day, another t-shirt. Willow's friends have gone home now, so let's resume this craft. So what we've done so far is get to this position here where we've got that padded and that bit of mesh on there. Right, so next I'm going to put it in this frame here. So it has got lots of nails in the back. I'll show you the original nails that held it in here. So I'm hoping to slide the frame underneath those nails. I'm going to try and keep that on there if I can. Otherwise I'll take it off and just put something new on. But hopefully I can just slide it on and under. Some of the nails are missing actually, so I might do that, but I might glue it as well at the same time. Okay, because there's quite a few nails missing. If I glue it would be better. Let's have a look what it looks like on the other side. Oh, there you go. I think that looks really nice. I think, sorry, just looking at it, seeing what's what. I think I'm gonna glue it, like I'm gonna put my hand on the middle like that. I'm just gonna push those nails down a little bit. and I'm going to hot glue it along the edges to glue it on, and then I might try and glue that original piece of paper on the back, actually the one that was already there before. Okay, so just wait for the glue gun to heat up. Okay, I think the glue is hot enough now. I'm just going to pop a little bit underneath this top bit here because there's no pins to help keep that down as well. So just and put a blob, just a couple of little blobs just to help hold it. So press that down just because there's no pins in the top there. So just hold that down just so that it grabs it a little bit. And I did have an idea to use that as well, so I'll get to that in a minute. Right, that's held down a little bit now, make up for not having any nails in it. So I'm just going to glue a few big dollops, not all the way around, but just in certain places. Okay, I'll try the corners first and see how that goes. Just to help the nails, because the nails, the wood is a little bit, you know, a little bit weak, so this will help the nails. So I'm just going to hold that there until this glue dries. Okay, that's more or less dry now. Let me show you so far what we've got. We've got that, the padded bit in the middle, with a bit of mesh. And so what I'm going to do is I might as well reapply that on the back of there. Okay, just underneath the what's it, obviously. Right, so I'm going to put some glue onto the paper, and I'm going to use tacky glue. I just thought, you know what, since we took it off more or less in one piece, we might as well stick it back on. Okay, let's get a brush. Okay, we've got a brush here. Something to put the water in, the glue in, sorry. What should we put the glue in? Put it in. Oh no, you know what? I'll just take it out just take it straight out of the bottle. There we go. I'm just going to put tacky glue all the way on the edge of this. Dries quite quick, so I'm going to try and work as fast as I can. Okay. Okay, right, let's now try and put this back onto here. Okay, there you go. A little bit tatty, but you know what we'd saved it. Should we take the £3 price tag off? No, we'll leave it on because it's just it's going to tear the paper even more. Okay, so we've got the original backing on there. Why not? Why not? Just sort of finishes off a little bit, doesn't it? Right, so what we're going to do with the front. My idea is something to do with these dark flowers that I've bought. Okay. But then I saw this as well. And somebody says, oh, why don't you just save that piece of paper in case you need it? So that, you know, it's only out of a magazine, so I don't really need to save it for anything, really, do I? But I could sort of like deck a patch round here with this. Well, it probably won't go that far, but I could deck a patch round here and put the flowers on. So I think I'm going to do that. Let me get the glue and let's give it a go. So I'm going to put some glue on and take it from there. Not that one, sorry. I'm just going to, I've got a big brush and a finer brush because I just only want to go to the edge, really. Sorry, that one. Right, so I'm going to start here. You know the score. Just put your glue on. Put your glue on and then start building up your paper. Okay, so we are going to use this. We might as well. It's only a magazine, like I say. It's nothing of any importance. So I'll just get rid of straight edges. Just tearing at the picture, just getting those straight edges off it. There you go, and taking it over the edge just makes it a bit neater. Oops. So basically you put the glue underneath as well so that you can wrap the paper round. really quite warm today, so everything is drying very quickly. I could have really done this decopatching before I put that on, but it was just evolving. It was just moving as I was looking at it, really. It was just evolving as I was looking. Okay. Okay, I'll finish off decopatching the little bit that I want to, but that's the basic idea. Patching it together. I'll come back when I've decopatched what I want to on here and I've dried it. That actually worked really well. I used the majority of that picture that was in it, and that has decopatched beautifully. It's a beautiful colour. Really, really nice. Okay, so then my next idea to do with this was to use these fake flowers and plants and things. So I was thinking something, you know, like sort of cut them down and sort of attach them just at the bottom down here. Not necessarily use all of them, but you know, a little selection of them at least. And then maybe the big rose, big thorny rose, but just the flower at the bottom. Right, okay, so I'm just going to have a little bit of a tinker around with these and see what I come up with. Yeah, I definitely like that one, so I'm going to cut it off here. Yeah, I'm going to glue it at the bottom, and then I'm also going to glue it at the top. So I'll stick that there, wait for it to dry, wait for it to set. Okay, so that's dry enough at the bottom there to be able to move that a bit at the top. I don't want to exactly, oops, oh, no, it's not. It's still a bit wet, sorry. This glue in this gun gets really, really majorly hot, so it takes ages to cool down, which is one of the downsides. Okay, I was having terrible trouble getting the hot glue gun to stick, the hot glue to stick on there, so I've put the permanent glue on, the E6000. Okay, so I'm just going to put these on with the permanent glue, and then I'm going to have to just leave it to dry it a little bit more, and then we'll get back to finishing the rest of it. Because unfortunately the permanent glue does take a little bit longer to set. So I'm just going to put the glue at the bottom there. The hot glue gun might just hold it just slightly, but it's going to fall off as soon as I lift it up. So I'm just putting, I've got a big blob of the E6000 at the bottom of these stems, and I'm just putting a couple of little different stems in there, just bending them a little bit. Okay, making sure that they're in the permanent glue. Just stick another big blob on there. Okay, and I'm gonna stick that big rose on the middle, so I'm gonna stick a massive blob on that. That is all gonna sit together there, like so. So I'm going to sit here for a bit with my finger on this flower for probably about 10 minutes, and then I'll come back in about 20 minutes when it's a lot drier. Not totally dry, but a lot drier, so that I can finish off this frame. Okay, it's dry enough to work with now. I've used a mixture of the E6000 for the permanent fix as per usual, and the glue gun just for the quick help along fix so that I can handle it a bit quicker. Okay, so there we go. We've got our foliage at the bottom. Go big or go home. So yeah, it's extra big and luscious fake foliage there. So right, what I want to do on here is I want to use it to hang things on, to stick things on. So I've got some things like these little coat hangers here. I'm gonna hang them on there. They can be used to put things on. And then I've got pins. So I've got these pins here with beads on. So this becomes the pin cushion to hold the beads. Then that will free up that one. Then it will free up some space on my pin cushion to add my next lot of beads to this. Get that one. That one bead there. Let me just stick it on there. It's too big. Let me just get a Thames pin. Ouch. There we go, stick it on with a Thames pin. Right, so I can store beads. Initially I can put my beads onto that pin cushion, and then when they start filling up I can put them onto this pin cushion here. Right, okay, what else? We can also store things like buttons. So I always lose every single button that I find because I just put it in the bottom of a box and that's it, gone forever. So I'll use a Thames pin. They're always a bit wonky. I'll just thread, if I can, some buttons onto it. In fact, let me get a thinner one. 1 second. Got quite a few in there. The majority of them are very thin, but I just happen to have picked the thickest one. There we go. That's another thick one. Sorry. There we go. A nice wonky thin Thames pin. Stick a few buttons on that one. Like I say, I usually lose all my buttons. I'm worse with my buttons than I am with my beads. What's that? Oh, it's a button. Ooh. There we go, a few buttons on there. Go, we can store them on there. What else have we got? We've got this chain stuff. So we can use this. Got one out here. The ball and chain thing. Right, I've got this thing with a, it'll fit, sorry. No, it won't quite fit in that. Oh, right, well anyway, I've got some of these I can hang things off. Anything that's got sort of a big hole in it, like washers, like, let me see if I can find a washer. Right, I couldn't find a washer, of course I couldn't find a washer. I've put everything away, but what I did find was this little doll's body and head. And that's got a big hole there, so I'm going to thread it through there. Put it on this little chain. There we go, that can hang off there nicely. Not quite sure what can hang off these coat hangers, but you know, you find all sorts, you find, ooh, chains and, you know, I find bits of chains and things like that, so they can hang off the coat hangers because it's just like a paper clip really. But I think that is more or less it. I can just keep adding to it. You know what I'm going to add a bee? Should I add a bee? You know what, I think I'm going to add this bee to something on here. Might just stick it there, just where the flowers end. So we just put a bit of glue on that. Stick him there, sort of out the way. Right, you know what? This, I'm sorry, it was so choppy. It's such a choppy video because so many distractions. It's school holidays. It's a busy, busy household. Okay, but we've done it. We've got to the end and we've made a little like, what we're going to call it? Like a notice board type thing. So there we have it. I'll bring it up to the top camera so we can see it a little bit better. Right, so there we have it. We've turned that picture frame into a sort of notice board thing. So we've got these flowers at the bottom. Remember, I had to double glue them. I used the E6000 for a permanent fix and then just helped it along a little bit with a bit of hot glue gun, but the hot glue isn't going to last very long at all on its own. So there you go. So a few flowers there. Then we padded out the middle with that stuffing so that we can use it to pin things to. And we added that little bit of a mesh at the top so we can hang things off it. So we've got buttons, we've got beads, but there's all sorts of things you can get there. So the washers, if I found another washer, I could put it on there. And then we decoupage using the picture that was already in the frame. There, we decoupage there so we could use that up. We've got the bee there. Right, there you go. There it is. And we use the original paper on the back, if you remember. Right, so there you have it. It's turned out nice, but it was a very, very choppy make because of all the interruptions. And they do say, actually, once you've been interrupted, it takes you 23 minutes to get back into the sway of things again. So, unfortunately, I couldn't get back into the sway that quickly. So there you go. It's finished. And I like it. I like the way it looks. It's nice. And I shall put that on my wall because it's got the string on the back still to hang it from. Right, so thank you so much for watching and persevering with this one. Sometimes things just don't, always go smoothly, and this one definitely has not gone smoothly. There's been so many stops and starts, me getting things wrong, interruptions, etc, etc. But we did get there in the end. So thank you so much. I need a nice hot cup of coffee now to recover. Don't forget to press that like. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and don't forget to ding that notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I do another craft. So hopefully in 2 weeks' time you will see another super craft, and hopefully without as many disruptions.